Welcome to the American Glutton Social Club, where we tell your stories in your words. Welcome to the American Glutton Social Club. You've shared your stories with us, and now we want to share them with everyone else. Who are we talking about today, Paige?
So today we're talking about Andy, but we are hearing it from his son, Jamie. Jamie wrote in to
That's
talk about
amazing.
his dad's success. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Okay, so here's what Jamie has to say. He says, I wanted to share my dad's story with you because you're the only guy who has truly inspired my dad to lose weight and commit. He's been on this weight loss journey for years, and you have truly struck a chord in him to make a change for the better. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, that is awesome.
It's pretty great. Okay, so he says, my dad was an airline pilot for 30 years, and throughout these years, it impacted his overall lifestyle. Keeping a consistent workout schedule and eating healthy resembled a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Some years were great, others were not. Due to his forced retirement at age 65, things were about to change for the better. But retirement to my dad wasn't an easy thing. Some people can't wait for retirement, but my dad truly loved his job. And to be honest, he was scared of what would come next. Not only was he suffering mentally, but physically as well. Stress eating and binge drinking was his coping mechanism. He got up to his highest weight of 315 pounds. It was difficult for him to breathe, sleep, and even walk at times. I could hear it in his voice and see it in his eyes that he was defeated.
I just want to say, when I was at the point where I was so heavy and I was using drugs and alcohol and eating crazy and not sleeping, and there is a certain point where you're like, it's not something I think you're thinking about all the time, but you are kind of resigned to the idea that, maybe if you kick the bucket, it's not unexpected. And it's a brutal kind of thing to be in and thinking about and dealing with, because you're kind of pushing that, or I was pushing that off and not going like, God, I'm killing myself, but just kind of apathetic about it all. And it's a really awful state to be in.
Yeah. Yep. He says it was in March 2021, shortly after his retirement in February. My mom highly recommended your podcast to him. You had him hooked after the first episode. Listening to your drive, determination, and grit is what lit the fire under his butt to start his own journey.
Oh, it's amazing.
So great. He said he began educating himself on the things that you recommended and really diving deep into your relationship with food, which sparked an interest in him. You were relatable in his eyes. He then purchased a hydro rower in April 2021. A hydro rower, is that one of those rowing machines, right?
Yeah, I don't know if hydro means, I think hydro means that there is actually water that you're pulling a mechanism through, so that the resistance is all based on actual water, I believe.
Got it. Okay. Well, he says that he got that. And he says now he has rowed more than 1,000,000 meters.
Wow.
Yeah. He is now at a point in his journey where he can lift heavy weights and has never felt or looked better.
That's amazing.
So good. He says he currently stays at a weight between 223 to 238 and went from a 46-inch waist to a 38. He's lost over 80 pounds in 6 months. And then he says, like, what a stud.
Dude, what a stud. Can I just say, I think, and I used to row a lot. I think I logged, and I don't know that I was logging every time I got on the machine, but I have like 300,000 meters logged, and that was astronomical. And like, to put it into perspective, 49,000 meters is a marathon.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay.
the equivalent of doing a marathon on a rowing machine. So this dude rowed 20, is it 20 to make it, or more than 20 to, that's so much rowing. It's unbelievable. So he is a stud.
Yes, for sure. Jamie says, it's been years since I've seen my dad not only look this good, but feel this good. He said, I'm a sucker for hearing people's stories, so I thank you for reading. You've changed my dad for the better in all areas. What I'm most excited about is his excitement towards buying clothes, trying new food, and doing more things with my mom, my sister, and his grandbabies. I'm going to cry. um,
But look at how it permeates out, and then it hits us and we get emotional and we feel good and everybody's feeling good and he's feeling good. And the difference between like that apathy and that feeling of carelessness, of giving up almost,
mhm.
versus a guy who's rode 20 plus marathons on a rowing machine, which is really, really hard,
Yeah.
who's now infected his whole family with this life force. That's so awesome.
Yeah. And he's at this, let's say, later point in one's life, and retirement can be really hard on people mentally, right? And he's turned it around. He's not giving up. He's got this whole new chapter that he's experiencing. Yeah, it's really inspiring,
So
actually.
great.
He says, I asked if he wanted to add a little something in here, and this is what he wrote. He says, so this is Andy talking. I feel like I'm 40 again and have so much energy. I just wanted to say thank you for sharing your story and podcast. You have given me another chance at a longer life with my family.
Oh man.
Andy.
Andy, thank you.
Oh, it's so awesome and so cool that Jamie wrote that, and that feeling of being so excited for your parent, and what an incredible example he's giving to his kids and grandkids and his wife. And it's so awesome.
It's so awesome. And I think like sometimes having other people around to share that with is super important. You know, I remember being on my own and really not caring and not having anybody. And then that kind of contagion of joy that life and the desire to live and be a member of this group with kids and grandkids, it's contagious and it's wonderful, and it brings everybody up, and it's so amazing what he's done. And thank you for sharing it with us. Do we have a picture of Jamie?
Yes, we do. My goodness, I almost forgot to show you because this is pretty cool.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
look at that dude. Full stud status.
right. He's so fit. And I
It's
just
amazing.
love, like, and I mean, it's cute on the left. You can tell he's obviously with his grandchild. Just cut his picture out. I didn't want to show that, his kid, but
Sure.
grandkid, but how cute. And I mean, he obviously looks like a really sweet, special, happy person in both photos. But I
Yeah.
mean, just that stance and like fitting in smaller clothes. And I don't know. It's awesome.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So cool.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us.